you believe in the matrix?
If you have lived in Lagos State under Tinubu, Fashola, Ambode, Sanwo-Olu, you will understand that those people are a matrix in Lagos State.
Yeah, you know there was a time this guy was reigning, Tedeji. Yeah. As in every corner of the streets. So what happened? Tedeji had a fight with one DJ and he beat up the DJ. Then the association of DJs they said no single DJ will ever play Tedeji's song again.
There was a man that wasn't a governor in Oyo State. He was saying something as public as he's getting this amount in security votes. He said, am I not entitled to 1/4 of it?
This is Rational Dialogue, episode 11. Today we want to ask a simple question. Do you believe in the matrix? Do you? Do you believe that all of this is a simulation? Or someone somewhere, or a group of people somewhere are making the decision that is governing our life through media manipulation, elections, wars, control of finance, economic disruptions? Whether you follow the philosophical argument or you want to believe there's a conspiracy, today, I'm not here to joke. I'm here to take this as serious as we can. Is there a matrix? Are we in control or someone is controlling us? Are we in a simulation? Okay, less of the seriousness. Betracy, is this a simulation? Is somebody controlling me to be this serious?
I do not really think that this is a simulation.
Okay, so what is the case?
I lean more to the side that it is also one kind of a way we try to use to explain our existence that we don't understand, just like religion. And I understand that we are actually, we have a lot of similarities with simulation. But when we bring it to the fact that the reason why we have so much similarities is because we now have something we call simulation that we do, like we have computer programming that we use to achieve stuffs. And then when we look at it and then we try to draw a pattern or something that is similar with the way we live our lives, like the constants and everything. If you see those languages, you realize that in computer programming, these are things that are common. So when we think, so that could make us think that, but it's still like a kind of way to explain this thing away.
So you think, if I'm getting you right, that the idea of that we are in a simulation is another way of us explaining things away. Just the same way we pick up God, we pick up deity, we pick up ghosts, we say all of these things.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
I see it as something like that.
That when human being doesn't understand something,
we try to pull something from somewhere.
So that's why we are saying you are in a simulation.
I think that's why.
Are you sure that's not what the simulation wants you to say?
And then you're back to square one.
Josh, are we in a simulation? Let's even start from that first one. Are we in a simulation before we talk about are there some matrix controlling us? Are we in a simulation? You think? What does the simulation want you to say right now?
It wants you to laugh. You see, the simulation theory is funny, right? Because for a long time, I used to believe we have free will. See, recently that no, free will is not free. There's determinism and there's all of that. Like, okay, so if ordinarily I would just say, hey, there's no simulation, and that's it, right? But you see, the determinism theory is quite resounding in the sense that, okay, yeah,
that you don't want
the fact that there are a lot of biological reasons why I talk the way I talk. You understand? There are cultural reasons why I do things the way I do things. It's not like I'm all in control. Do you get? So I'm not all in control. So that is really giving me some other thoughts to what the reality could be.
Yeah.
Now let me give you this.
So
right?
in one word, all this discussion we're having is not freely choosing. It's
in this discussion we are having, I of course John and everybody set up everything. I carry my ass and come and sit down here. However, the fact that okay, we are in that rat race of growing media, growing this, growing that, want to be known, want to be this, want to have a media house and all of that.
So it is what is controlling us. You know, I think
we are not representing control.
I like the argument about free will. For people that don't know the argument, that they're major three school of thought. Then they are the liberalists. You know, the liberalism school of thought. Believe that human beings have free will. They choose. They make their own decision. then the determinists are like, no, we don't. Everything that happens either have a cause or is happening at random. If it's at random, then you are not the one that determines. If it has a cause, then you don't choose it. So it's because you are hungry that you decide to eat. So if you have the option of shooting a video like this, isn't I'm shooting rational dialogue, or having to eat, that if the wants for you to eat is higher than your need to shoot video, then you will go ahead and eat video. And you do not control. You may choose your wants, but you do not want your wants or something like that. I think that's the way they used to put that phrase. Which is like the ones you just manifest yourself. You can't say when you become hungry. It's just some biological process inside your head. You can't even say when you become horny. You just discover that you wake up one morning and there's a wood. So, and then there's compatibilists that believe that, okay, despite that, there's this neurological thing that may cause it. There's this set of decisions that may cause it. There's this, but we still make the choices. That is, anytime you want to buy chocolate, you want to buy ice cream, and instead of picking strawberry, you pick chocolate. You still choose between picking strawberry or picking chocolate. Although determinists will argue, no, it's because you want chocolate more than strawberry. That's why you pick chocolate. And if you end up saying, that's not the fact that I want chocolate, I want to pick strawberry, it's because you do not want to pick chocolate to the point so much that you have to pick. It's all thought to down. It's complex stuff. So in one word, there are a lot of arguments about free will. If you want us to discuss about it sometime in the future, you can drop a comment. We'll go fully into it. So what Josh is talking about is about the argument of free will, and the fact that now is doubting whether he has free will. So if he doesn't have free will, that means there is a possibility that all of this is still a simulation.
There may be a blend of it. Right?
That's it. Simulation or not? Is it simulated or not?
In a very simple explanation, I'd like to give a little bit of insight to my own contribution to. Years ago, it was one evening like this, and that was the very first time I learned that God controls everything. Right? Whatever will happen tomorrow, God is aware. Whatever the way we live our life, God is aware of every fucking thing. So that evening, I remember telling my friend, I said, so if I won't go to Ilekio tomorrow now, God is aware, right? And God wants me to go to Ilekio. And tomorrow I won't go. Okay. So I'll see what will happen. So the next day came, I didn't go to Ilekio. And the third day after
for the people that don't even know what Ilekio means, it's madrasa. It's where they teach Arabic to learning to kids.
So the third day, I went to Ilekio. And our father beat the hell out of me. So that my friend was not telling me that, okay, this is exactly what God wants. God wants me to not come to mosque that day. So they were going to flog me. And the chain continues.
This is so crazy. So, John, you are the last on the list, Yeah, definitely you should be anti-simulation because the Bible said that you have free will. So I believe that you do have free will.
So I will not be talking about just based on religion now. And
you should be talking based on what?
Personally, I think there is no what do I call it? There is free will.
Is it now happening inside a simulation?
What I'm saying is that what I mean is that we are not in a simulation.
Oh, we are not in a simulation. So
that is what I believe.
Okay.
Now, but what are my doubts?
One
of my doubts is that perhaps we are in a simulation, which is if we are checking from if we can find a way to time travel and then we have you can reverse and go back. We will see that if we are in that logic, it will be more like a circle. It's like a circle. There is a past and then there is a future and then it goes around. If there is a father and a child, if that father dies, the child will cease to exist. So
And the grandchildren will not exist.
and the grandchildren will not exist.
And all their interaction with the people will not exist.
And everything like that would actually, I think it's actually spin in a way that, okay, so if there is a thought like this, it
Mm-hmm.
will certainly happen. So if something is existing,
Mm-hmm.
it means that it will exist
Mm-hmm.
because of some certain things that have happened before
For.
that is now influencing why it is now happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we go back to the idea of free will,
Mm.
you understand that the reason why you are making some particular decision is because you are compelled to make that decision because it felt like the best decision to make at that particular time.
Mm.
Like,
Which makes you have free will or doesn't have free will?
we make you not have free will. So now,
Oh, which make you have John Wills?
it made you not have free will. Because,
I thought you were saying you have free will, Nana.
yeah, that is what I want to believe. You know why? So that I can keep saying.
Okay, so that I can empower yourself.
Exactly. Because if you believe that you are
Have you even thought about it? Do you know where these words are coming from? Do you actively choose this word or they just flow out of your mouth?
I don't know. I feel
Oh, do you intend to say I don't know or you just say I don't know?
I said it then I think about
Do you intend to say I said it, then you intend to say, is that the case? Do you choose those things or they are
it's just a rabbit hole.
or they are just flowing out?
It's just a rabbit hole. I think one of the reasons why I talk quite slow is
Mm.
the fact that I try as much as possible to think about
To
what
choose
I'm
your
about
word.
to choose it.
But
But
then
again,
it's not as if you are choosing it.
But again, when did
So-
I even think about boy again now?
Eh.
So it's more like it's
So,
spontaneous.
so does that speak to simulation in any way? Does that mean that in a sense we are living? You know, there are really strong philosophical arguments about the idea of this we live in a simulation. One of the ones I know is the fact that, you know, people talking about the fine-tuning argument, that is much of the world is crazily fine-tuned, you know, like it seems like the earth and everything in the universe is, you know, standing on the edge of a knife, you know. Things like the gravitational constant, you know, things like the speed of light having an exact measurement, things like the Planck length, you know, all of that. Things that are like pure science, like math. The way mathematics will express our world, can describe our world, seems to some philosopher that it seems that we are in a sort of web-programmed, coded world. Like, it's more like somebody somewhere, bigger being somewhere, coded us into a simulation, which is quite it's an interesting argument. But then, if all of us are heading towards simulation thing, why don't you believe in the simulation? Why don't you just take it that, oh, everything that will happen is already what will happen, even if you are like, why don't you, are you fully convinced that we are in a simulation?
Okay, I'm not fully convinced. That's the problem. I'm not fully convinced. That
Why are you not convinced?
Because it still seems like
Because another argument that I've seen, the Tracy should understand is that it's from a programmatic point of view, like, oh, if any civilization advances to a certain extent, they will have enough computing power, enough infrastructure to build a simulation just as this. That is, if we ever, you know, the other day we were having this discussion, I hope you remember, that is, the time traveling thing can never be possible.
yeah.
That if there's something like a future that we have not reached, then that means possibility that those people in the future, and in the foremost of the future, will have developed so-called technology.
Yes, they are.
So if we're ever, no, this is where the argument starts. If we're ever going to travel to the future, that means there's some people there already. Is that the case? So that means if we develop time traveling technology that we travel to the future right now, that this point in time has been reached before.
Yes.
Makes sense? So if this point in time have been reached before, that means the people in the future already have this technology. Now, here's the question for them. Does that mean that the people in the future cannot travel to the future? Does that mean that there is no future where they can travel to?
This future we are talking about.
And now, because if you are saying that people that are the uttermost of the future, they are like the primary later of the future, they're supposed to have this technology and they should be able to travel to more future or something. Now, here's the problem. Does that mean that if we are the front line, we have not developed it, or the people that are the future have developed it, but they don't have any future they can travel to. Now, here's the problem. If that's not the case, let's now consider traveling back to the past. If the people in the future have developed traveling to the future, they should have been able to travel to the past. We'll have seen them around. And then if they have developed it at a point in time, that means we will meet them at a point in time where it will have been developed. So that means they will have access to it already and they will be able to travel to the past. So either way, it doesn't seem like traveling to the past or traveling to the future is something that can be possible.
And since future is limitless, or should we say, what's the better word? Infinite. So that means there are no number of future that we are talking about. In the sense that, so if at some point it has been discovered and these people can travel back in time, then we should have been overloaded with
travelers. People will have come around and to do excursion here.
What makes you so sure that future is infinite?
No, like what do you mean by?
Or future.
If we are going to develop a time machine that can take you to the future, that means the future will definitely be infinite.
Because when you get to that future, you will need another future.
That means there's supposed to be another future.
Perhaps there's a place where it takes a stop.
No, people at the front line. Yeah. Is that what you are saying? And so the question is, are we the one at the front line? Is that why we have not developed it yet?
Maybe no.
And if the people at the front line develop it, which future will they use to travel to?
To the future, like okay,
like you have talked about a limit of future. So now these people at this limit, where are they going?
If the people now, here's the logic. If the people are the future, this edge of the future, God develop it. Where will they travel to? And then by the time we meet them there, where will you travel to? Because it will look like that was too. By the time we two will develop it in their future, where will we travel to? Because if they have developed it and they have moved to a certain future, then that means the next set of people that meet them supposed to be able to travel there. So that means no way that one set of generation will develop it that it will not translate to we are at the edge.
Maybe the future distance doesn't even exist.
So now, and if you say they can travel to the past, then you face the grandfather paradox.
Yeah.
The grandfather paradox is that if you travel back to the future, if you travel back to the past, you saw your grandfather died, what will happen to all the future?
What will happen to you?
What will happen to you? Then you will never get to the future where you'll be able to travel to the past.
Yes, yeah.
Which in the past is just not practical.
What is the name? It's Legend of Tomorrow. They said the idea is, the phenomenon is time aberration. I don't know what that is.
Okay. I think in Flash, they even did one nonsense. Flash go and borrow one from one of his past to come and die in the present. Instead in the present. That was so ridiculous stuff.
I think you actually, should I use the word peddling? An alternative argument yesterday where you're talking about the fact that maybe we are focusing more on the material nature of the time travel.
No. Another argument is that here's the problem. Things work at a constant, which is like the speed of light. Right? We cannot get to the future without consuming energy. And what is energy? We know energy is E equals to MC squared. There's going to be mass, right? Yeah. And then when we are consuming energy, that means we cannot get to the future. We cannot get to a point where we'll be faster than light.
Exactly.
So unless we use an immaterial substance to actually access it, such as the mind, and that will mean that we want to assume that the mind, the consciousness, is immaterial.
It's massless.
Yeah, it's massless and immaterial. Yeah, it's not a matter. It's immaterial. It's not, and I doubt that. I believe it's part of the human body component. So, but that's it. For a lot of people who don't understand this simulation part of the argument, it's complicated.
I think there's a movie that can make you understand that very well. The Truman Show. What is the name of this guy? It's a show that they made it a popular show where
Truman. That everybody's watching you on TV.
Everybody's watching you.
Everybody acting as if
they are in a real world. But it is a simulated environment. And then people are watching him like a show.
On TV. They are advertising stuff, blah blah blah. Yeah, I remember there's that show. You can check out that show and then you can go and check all these other complicated science fiction movies like
Matrix
The Matrix and co. But let's leave that. The second type of matrix argument that people have, or simulation argument that people have, is that there's some super rich people. 5 of us, the brotherhood. Everybody give me your hand. Give me your hand. 5 of us, the brotherhood. We are determining the future. We are the machines. And the traits and the likes are the one that are popularizing this type of opinion. We are living in the matrix. Some people they don't want to be successful. That's why they want you to go to school and study. And then those people are the one that will end up setting up a course platform where you go and bring your friend so that you guys will be collecting money from each other. You know, they too are matrix in their own way. But we don't go there today. They are just of this one. Now, do you believe in those type? The conspiratorial Illuminati, some secret government that's controlling the world, that are using media, using technology, using all of this to control, to manipulate people, and people will point you to the fact that, CIA was monitoring people with CCTV, all those things, some people will talk about North Korea, some Northern Korea thing, that the one that is happening in the rest of the world is more subtle, whatever. Do you believe in that?
It's a big farm. It's a big pharmaceutical company.
There are big farms in charge. People want war because they want to control our mind. Do you believe in that one?
I believe in that in a certain way. I don't believe in the grand scheme of things, like very that level. But I believe to a large extent there are people that are capable of that to a micro level, but not to. I'm not sure we have gotten to that level of some set of people that are controlling the world 100%. I don't believe it. But I believe there are people that could potentially be involved in who is going to be the president of the country before maybe they have money to finance the campaign and all of that. But in the grand scheme of things, that this your life is a sample because some people are
controlling
everything. I choose not to believe that. That is so.
Josh, do you believe in that? Because now, before you say your answer, understand that there used to be Kamala Harris and Biden as the US president. Now, we are going to be having Donald Trump back. Does that mean there are two matrix? Does that mean they are playing game with all? What is happening? What is that? What do you believe?
You see, here's what I think about it. I think people pay attention to the unseen version of it. And that's why it looks like all these people powder version.
Good.
I think they are the physical versions of it. There's a law.
Okay.
Well, me and you, we will likely do things within the confine of the law.
Okay.
You understand? So that puts us within a bind.
Put us within a matrix of the law.
Within a kind of matrix. That's sin. People leave all those physical matrices and then they focus on seeing the Illuminati that can be fictitious about as much as possible. But then I think they are the seen version. I don't know if you still remember this incident. There was a day we wanted to sack a lady, a staff.
Okay.
Right? We wanted to sack, and then we knew she was not going to continue with us anyways. And then we premeditated every of the conversation. So I said, if we say, okay, she's not going to continue, based on this, she's going to say this. Then they'll give me another 3 iterations or what will be the case and why. Means I said, this is, and then we discussed it. And at the end of the day, when she came, he said, this is the reason. Okay, then she continued with this. This, checkmate at the end of the day. And then she couldn't continue. And we are definite, right? So, myself, I've been a matrix. So, to say there's no some certain people somewhere that are premeditating a lot of stuff, right? I think it's not...
I think that's strategy in the first place.
That's point of strategy. So, that's one. But the part I won't believe is things that will limit me and all of that. There's no upside to it. If I believe they are somewhere they are saying that me, I cannot go past this place, I cannot do this. So why? What's the upside?
What you are saying is that you don't believe in the monitoring spirits part.
Yeah, right. And the fact that there are some people that have said that me, I cannot, our family, all those versions are...
What's your take? Because this guy is making it sound very dark and...
That's...
I don't understand.
Actually, for me, I believe the matrix is real.
Okay, in the sense of, some secret government somewhere.
I'm coming. CIA. And I believe
the CIA,
every level,
the FBI,
there's a matrix.
MIT.
We all of us are aware when a whole US president, a sitting president was the platform. Donald Trump was chased away out of Twitter. And same as Facebook and Instagram. Why? Because some people somewhere actually want to limit his influence and his control. Now, what happened after all those shenanigans? Elon bought X, formerly Twitter, and a new form of matrix was formed.
Oh, okay. So there are multiple variations of matrices.
Now, the question now is, the new guys, are they standing as guarding or checking the former matrix, keeping them in place? Or now, we now have a new form of matrix controlling the narrative. Elon was making it clear that the legacy media, they're having a meltdown because of the election, because they couldn't control much as they would like to control. Twitter now is one of the top go-to news platform.
Exactly.
So all those legacy medias, all those top guns, they are part of Matrix.
CNN.
Now there's a new
ABC
sheriff.
News.
There's a new sheriff in town. So my own question now is, does that mean that there's another kind of matrix now? Or there's a matrix and there's a
matrix. So are you asking me or you want to answer your question yourself? Because now you believe them.
I think the matrix is up for grabs. Right.
Okay.
So I think it's just how you attain it.
So,
high price.
ladies and gentlemen, remember there's a matrix and there's the matrix. One image you at the matrix. Okay.
And if you want to
oh, you believe in the trimatrix?
You should think about it. There was a time, I think it was some years back,
Mm-hmm.
like 3 or something years back, and then there was this kind of clothing, these jeans that we used to buy.
Crazy jeans, or which one?
It's not crazy, but there is a particular jeans that we used to buy.
Yeah, I remember.
And I think it was doing well. I'm very sure it's not because of sales that they stopped it, but all of a sudden it just doesn't exist in the market again. They don't do it again. Why?
Because they don't do it again.
Because some people are controlling what our outfits.
I think if you watch the movie Devil Wears Prada or something like that, you will know that some people actually control fashion. They determine what flows out.
So, in some sense, I believe those kind of people are matrix in a level.
Yeah, all right.
To a large extent, they are forcing us to do a particular kind of thing. They are making a force move. So it's more like a form of matrix. And I agree to such level of matrix. But for matrix that you cannot do anything, nothing can happen to your life because of.
I'm liking Josh's argument about the fact that the matrix is up for grabs. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, the matrix is up for grabs, right? My favorite matrix, George Soros, right? He's buying how many radio stations?
200.
200 radio stations.
Over 200, I think.
250.
You understand? Now, a counter matrix to that is 44 billion, using $44 billion to buy Twitter.
And now they won the election.
And now they won the election. And in fact, the former sheriff, the former matrix, he is not even focusing on the presidency, whatever, any longer.
Okay.
He's even focusing on the district level.
District
you understand?
level.
That's how he's even distributing his own this, and he's able to control the locality of what happens in many cases, because even that is a matrix, he has installed which is Obama, and he couldn't even secure an appointment with Obama. You understand? Sure. I think the matrix is the fact that is up for grabs, right? It's just the fact that many people in their lifetime will not attain a status where they can really just dictate how things work is the challenge. See,
funny enough, in a sense too, you can be a matrix in your own even small family life. You can ahead of kids that their parents will.
For every level there's a matrix.
Yeah, their parents will set up funds for them. That they can what do they call those kind of fund? There's a name.
Trust fund.
Trust fund. Yeah, they set up the trust fund for them, and then they can be collecting $10,000 every month from those trust funds. And that's you setting them up for a certain level of lifestyle for life. It's symmetric thinking.
They are well ahead of their.
You want to make a point?
Yeah, not quite long. Maybe just 2 months ago, there was a protest in Nigeria,
head bad governance protests, where some people are vandalizing government properties, stealing stuff, looting shops, and quote unquote, raising up flags from different another country. So police made some arrests. They arrest some guys. That's 2 months ago. About 2 weeks ago, the news just started flying up and down that those people they arrested them were minors. And we saw it. People were fainting inside the lockup. And those people looked like minors.
Exactly.
And they looked as if they haven't fed for like a week.
Exactly.
I remember me and Josh were having an argument that the police said these people are not minor. The lawyers, they said, no, these people are not minor. These people are, some of them are children.
They are married.
Some people are saying, no, these people are kids. These people are kids now. Before you know it, the president said, he ordered.
I said, have you noticed there's no picture? You showed me video.
Exactly.
Even me said I couldn't believe that you were not mine.
I saw the video.
You saw the video.
Yeah, they were mine. They look like mine. I don't know. I can't speak to this.
So about some days ago, the president ordered
they should be released.
Now they've released them, and somebody now took a picture of
video
of where they are eating, and they gave them 100,000 naira cash and phone, each of them. And these people I'm seeing, this new set of people, and not those people I saw So it feels like it's a chess play. Some people actually wanted those people out of that place.
Okay.
And they forced the hand of government by using the media.
And the fact is, they were really some minors. But they were no significant portion of the DC.
So there's a mix of,
by law, you can 7-year-old and above can be prosecuted.
Exactly.
So people just played on emotion of the populace.
So there's a media manipulation there.
Yeah.
Beatrice have not said anything about this. This new class of Matrix.
I am also enjoying Josh's argument about that the Matrix is up for grabs.
Okay.
I also agree with that, and to a large extent. But I want people to understand that Josh saying it's up for grabs sounds like it's something easy. It's not something easy.
Okay.
It's a combination of not only money, because money is an important part.
Okay.
Like probably a very, very important part.
So,
but strategy, insane kind of strategy, not just random strategy, not just household strategy.
Okay.
Now you need those kind of heavy stuffs because we have talked about family line kind of what's the name? Let's leave that. Let's move to another level. Another level is if you have lived in Lagos State under Tinubu, Fashola, Ambode,
exactly,
and Sanwo-Olu, you will understand that those people are a matrix in Lagos State. So now we are saying it's up for grabs, meaning that Lagos State government is up for grabs. What I'm telling you is that it's not just a random person, or it's not going to be an easy battle for anybody to pry Lagos State off of the end of that matrix.
The cabal is already.
It has to be.
I think Osun State, one of the problems that I have with Arek Boshola today is the fact that he got to power, he started shouting, I want to there are some cabal somewhere, blah blah. Like, what is this guy saying?
Exactly. So now, if I'm sure that if Lagos State is lost for one term, it's enough to destroy all the work of this current matrix. But how do you pry Lagos State for one single term? That one is going to be a load of work. And even I don't know the kind of if I have it, I would have done it, of course. I don't know the kind of strategy and the amount of money you need. But I remember that there was a time when we had a governor in this Oyo State that he was saying somebody came from overseas with a lot of money. I remember that he was mentioning that on radio. A sitting governor was mentioning that on radio. And that gave me a vibe that, somebody is coming to come and pry the
seize power from
this guy that has
from the established Kaaba
8 years
in power.
Because nobody has spent 8 years, but this guy came in the second time. That means he's already a sort of a matrix on his own. And this guy wants to really come and pry off power from his hand. And of course he did it. We have a sitting governor now who is from another party. And that shows that of course you can unseat the matrix. Now, are we talking about, do we have two matrix, more than one matrix? I think we can have more than one matrix. We always have matrices. I think that's the plural of matrices. So when we have matrices, that means they are always combating each other, and some are going to join forces. It's just like company. This is capitalism. Anybody can come up with a business.
People are fighting for market share.
People are fighting for market share, of course.
But what we cannot deny is that there's some sort of mass control, mass manipulation, mass
definitely influence. Every single place I've been in. I've been in churches, and I can see that some people are a kind of a cabal in churches.
I think the same thing do affect the federal government. We talk about it in oil. There's some oil cabal, there's some petroleum cabal, there's this one cabal. I even hear about malt. See that some people have
Malta.
What
They have blending plant in Malta. Like they will go and get oil from say Russia and all of that. But then there's this Malta. That place they will take it there to go and blend those oil. And when they say blend, is that they carry the oil there and then they have some substance that they use to actually make the oil more in quantity. Then they will now bring it to Africa, Nigeria. And when they bring it to Nigeria, it will reduce the quality, right? The sulfur content, it will reduce the quality, and then they can even sell it at even cheaper price than Dangote that spent $20 billion to have a refinery in Nigeria.
That's interesting. Someone was telling me about this. In OAU that if you are a deeper life, you are most likely going to get admission.
High chance of admission.
Those people are super pack.
Super pack.
That's where I'm going about packs.
Okay.
So I realized that they are allied people, even like legally formed, even in US. They don't have to be a cabal of some sort. That have this agenda to push, and that's what they are doing. That's what they are known for.
They call them pack.
Or super packs in bigger, in advanced level. So it's like these people are always going to be there. So how much power can they hold? Well, they are going to bank on this other people failing. It's just like competition among companies at the end of the day. All two people coming together to come and join force, and then they have a bigger, what's the name? So that's why I see it to be most of the time. The one I want to cite is, I remember there was a man that wasn't a governor in Oyo State that really was controlling. He was saying something as public as he's getting this amount in security votes.
65 million.
65 million. He said, am I not entitled to
one quarter
of what the Oyo State governor was getting in security vote? So that kind of man.
My dad cannot make that statement.
Definitely.
My dad cannot make that statement.
No random person is making that statement.
Who's your dad?
Where can you ask who
So now the man is dead now. The man is dead now.
Yes, sir.
Now he can't request for such. So I think those kind of things are, I wish he had formed a super PAC at that kind of period, and then he had a lot of people. I think it would be a more difficult game to play against him in that situation.
So I think, right there, when I said constitution, right, that they are seeing matrices, the constitution and all of that. I think there can be a glitch in the matrix, right? In that, there can be things constitution didn't provide for. You see, me and you were not there when them Rotimi Williams were writing the Constitution of Nigeria.
Exactly.
We are not part of their experience and all of that. And then they wrote it, and then they said that we are here today, we should follow that law. So that's already a matrix. Now, when we say there's a glitch, the possibility of glitch in the matrix is the fact that when they were putting all of that, there are possibilities that there are problems that they didn't account for, and you can actually pry on that and then make it happen. Now, let me give you an instance, right? In the United States, they notice anytime an incumbent will be removed from office is usually disaster, war, or disease that they will use. Most of the time, those things, they appeal to the public. Usually, most of the time. Trump said he was actually having this meeting with his guys at the guy is a crazy poster. They were doing poll, and they said even if Abraham Lincoln and Washington were the one doing, they were running as president and vice president, that Trump will defeat them. That they were trying to make the point that he was that popular, right? Then COVID happened.
Bam.
Me and you, if you are really logically looking at the result of 2020 election, forget that the election denial and all of that. The fact that there was COVID was top reason why many people, the way Trump handled COVID and all of that, it was top reason why many people were really not voting, were scared of Trump, and then they didn't want him to return.
Trump was of the this thing is fake.
And all of that.
And when we look at it, at best, COVID was just a,
You know,
because Ebola is a stronger pandemic by far than COVID. COVID was just
and then see,
it's just a ruse.
see how they use COVID to actually unseat him. And then you see war that Jimmy Carter couldn't fight then. He was removed from office. So we've seen that pattern. Now look at Lagos. You saw that we lost, APC lost Lagos at the federal level to Lagos. That Lagos has been a factor that they give it to whoever they want to give it to. Now, the leader of the cabal, right? Or in Lagos, so to say, was on the ballot. And they defeated him. Now ask me, how did that happen? Remember the 2020 event at Togate. May the soul of those that died rest in peace.
Exactly.
Right? But then, if you look at it, you will see the fact that, check this in Nnamdi Kanu, when he was doing his video, he said, go and burn down Togate, go and burn down Reta. It was all properties of, said properties of Tinubu. That it was, tell me, how many places did they organize that kind of, this thing? Protest, inside protest. That monumental kind of. Why was it Togate? Like those are questions, right? So
these are conspiracies. They are not questions.
They are not facts. They are not facts. They are not facts, right? But I just think some conspiracies have really turned out to be factual at the end of the day. Like you can like they are close to facts than the other. And I think this is one of
I think this is just a matter of presenting data.
Then you make whatever choice you want to make.
Interesting. So in one word now, so we might not definitely say we are in a simulation. What you guys are saying is that we can say for a fact that there's some matrix power at play when it comes
intelligent
to
design,
human interaction, when it comes to governance and politics. You want to say something?
One of the things that shows that there are definitely matrices in action.
Matrices.
To be correct, matrices. Is the fact that making unpopular opinion popular, and then everybody accepts it widely. Now, what am I talking about? The LGBT this thing, what's it called? Campaign.
Yeah.
It is, if we look at it clearly, it is an unpopular opinion. That someone will convincingly say is gay, is this, is blah, is blah. It's not something that
it used to be a disease. In fact, it was registered as a mental illness.
But you see that there is a systematic way that it was integrated into the society. The fact that,
and then we started seeing people such as Apple CEO saying that, Tim Cook. I don't know what that guy Cook. Peter Thiel saying that.
We started seeing our favorite football team boss having a label of LGBT, and then why won't you start finding it cool to just say it's LGBT? Something that used to be a stigma before, but because of financial factor, if you say you are not wearing a captain armband that has LGBT, you will be punished for it. So it shows that it's obvious that some big people that have big money find a way to actually influence it. Like they bring out their money, they find a way to make sure that these things stick, and then we are now seeing it as a normal thing in the society. So it's actually one of the evidence that shows that if we say they are matrices.
See, and let's even bring this home.
Okay.
We sat down in our cocoon in Ajanoku and we decided 3D logo is going to go to 27 countries of this world. And 27,000 businesses were going to 40,000 businesses were going to be using it, and it happened. It happened. It actually
what's one matrix?
So what's one matrix? Tell me, what's one matrix?
Yeah, we influence the culture of 3D designs. I will say that for a fact, and it becomes a
and every celebrity was posting it, and we make crazy ton shit of money.
That's interesting.
So like 4 years ago on Twitter, if you go against feminists,
okay,
your account is as good as them.
Okay.
Like Twitter will take your account, they'll block it. So now fast forward to today now. If any feminist say we are feminine, and you go toe to toe with them, 80% chance that you survive. Feminists will
we get blocked.
Why? Because those former matrix
I'm
they're
lost.
in favor of the feminist and feminism movement.
Okay.
The funny thing about this matrix is that it is everywhere. Now that we are talking about it, I think I can see it more clearly that it's everywhere.
Okay.
So somebody can just wake up and say is DJ Chicken or something and say that go and chop that person's account. Go and chop that. And you see people who troop to that person's account and make sure that they block that
It's
person's
true.
account. So if that is one form of
Jakate.
I remember the video was saying on the podcast that one US lady tried to disrespect him, and he just said to his fans that go and fuck her up. And he went to her page, the guy was that page, threatening her. But then that come out, I'm sorry, I didn't know it's faster like this.
See, what do that? He was actually advocating that why they don't be disrespecting his cousin, which is it Sophia Mamadou there? And then he said he believed he had Ovation magazine, and then he was writing different stories about Davido. Davido was like, Baba, Ovation, offline you, online never. You understand? Then he more like fuck no. He sang like several songs, and he said Daily Nama. He sang another one. He sang several songs. This was Sinachi. He put Daily Mamadou inside. Later, although Daily Mamadou said he didn't know it was that popular. He didn't know. He had no idea that Daily was that popular.
Wow, interesting.
He had to settle it. So power they cancel power, bro.
In one sense, what you guys are saying is that they are in the sense of the people controlling the world, people making the borderline influence around the globe. There's the matrices. And
I think we can even explain this thing with gravity.
Okay.
Because I remember that what we later understood to become gravitational pull is that gravitational pull is acting upon every what do we call it, particle. So now
matter.
the heavier the particle, it's exerting its own pull on everything. Now all of us in this Milky Way, this our planet system, we are being pulled by the sun. Now Earth is pulling people like us down now. That's why we are not flying. We can't move up at will. So it's pulling us because it has the power to exert its pull.
Exactly.
The same way things on Earth are pulling other stuffs and everything like that. So since that's the case, I think that's how matrix is to the bigger the matrix, the more the pull.
For instance, you don't even need to explain it. It's something like if the fastest way to grow a community is to build a university there.
Immediately.
Right.
The fastest way to grow, just build a university there and that's it. Things will start popping up inside it.
That's the difference between a university and a church.
Exactly.
If you actually use a church, but people will come there only on Sundays. That's the challenge. People will gravitate towards it. But if you do it as a university, it is a campus. People will live there.
People will
come and do business there.
People will come and do business. Business will start popping up. Everywhere.
Makes sense.
So I think that's true. When there are resources in certain contact, we should expect that things will gravitate towards that direction. And that's the sort of influence we are talking about.
Right.
So if next time somebody is saying, oh, they are matrix, they are paying people to sing certain song, Illuminati, blah blah blah. So are you saying Illuminati is real?
The thing is, I don't believe Illuminati is really in the spiritual sense of they are selling their soul to the devil and stuff like that.
Okay.
And even at best, they are just using those ones as marketing tactics. That's my belief. But I agree that if you see the way the music industry is set up, there's no way that is not a matrix.
You can't tell me that.
There's no matrix. Like, I can give you an example that I know that they are planting artists to be famous. They know how to do it. I remember when I can't forget when Doja Cat was being pushed. Like, no matter where you went to on this earth, go under the ground, you will see Doja Cat. She will be on your face like this. So she was just being pushed every time. And then at some point, they left her alone because she could stand on her own.
Okay.
Then they pick another artist. They push Billie Eilish. They push different artists, even artists that I love, that I believe are. that's another one because there's no. They were pushing her to the point that you see that she was on Drake's album and one of the biggest songs.
Taylor Swift songs.
No, this other lady, Ice Spice. The only thing is that I know that the group they are losing the grip these days. I don't know how they plan to fix that. I know they will come up with something better, but they are losing the grip in the sense that you will see that the artists they are putting on now, they are not staying like before anymore. Maybe our attention TikTok and other things that we are using to produce new celebrities is the difference maker. But I know that that was the way it used to be. They are always going to
their sources.
I think that I love, like I can admit here that Cardi B was planted. I love Cardi B. I am a big fan of Cardi B. But I can admit to you that industry planted Cardi B to everybody's ears. They made sure that she is famous because, of course, at the end of the day, maybe she's going to be remitting a percentage to these people or whatever. These are big people. These are Atlantic.
Yeah, I think even Spotify has been sued. YouTube has been sued. Several other platforms have been sued on the ground that they are intentionally pushing some artist music more than the others. You know, they are putting some artist song in recommendation. I think there's a certain song that is at 1 billion or 2 billion.
Life is Good by Future. It featured Drake in that song. Life is Good on YouTube got to 1 billion in a very short span. And there was a time when we were telling even John Wiz that it's not because we listen to hip hop that they keep giving us this song. Even if you are watching different videos or you are listening to different genre of music, they will put this song as your
and
next.
they will not do it as a sponsor. They will just
play next.
And then
John Wiz tried that. He was playing Beyonce, different kind of music that do not even relate to hip hop. And then by the third song, they had brought Life is Good.
It is like that. Like if you come to YouTube the second day and then you just play like 2, 3, 4 songs. The next one will show you
Life is Good.
No matter how you do it.
I do not listen to video. I don't really like this guy. So I don't
another thing that I noticed, I don't know whether anybody have noticed. In fact, you are talking about something, and then all of a sudden you open your phone and you want to watch any video. Thank God we are using YouTube Premium these days, so we don't used to see that not quite anymore. But you just open your phone, you try to use Google or you try to use YouTube, and that's what they will show you as ad.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Like is that worse than even on Instagram now? Like
you'll be wondering that wait, is Yoruba I said if there's text to speech, right, and then they're able to decipher. Like the phone is tracking.
Yeah.
So it also understood Yoruba. Why?
The funny thing is that for a long time I was the denier of that stuff. I was like, these people are not listening to us, and that was because I trusted Mark Zuckerberg's speech on Congress. Was the name that they can't do such a thing that But then by the time I realized that I was trying. Okay, anytime I try to search something but there was a day I discovered the Instagram one. I intentionally checked that. Is it that if I search for this name, this is what I'm going to see first? It's not like saying Kim Oprah before Kim Kardashian. That's unusual. But if you're talking about Kim Oprah earlier, and then you start searching Kim, you see Kim Oprah before Kim Kardashian. You know that kind of incident. So it was something like that. There's no way this person will come rank before this person, but that's what I'm saying. Then I checked on someone else's phone later to be sure. And then I saw that it's a different order. That's when I realized that these people are already using those, what we are saying. Whatever they hear, they are just using it to...
The customer wanted to be the website.
Okay.
All these Nike shoes and I checked through some of the images he sent, and I saw one Nike Air Force One. Or like I just said, I love this Nike Air Force One. Wow, I like to buy it. And I went to Instagram 2 to 3 minutes later. The first ad I saw was Nike
Air Force One.
That's crazy. Now, if you don't really want to get conspiracy theories about it, right? Me and Director, we spend millions on ads. And we know the higher we pay Facebook, Instagram, they will push it to your throat.
They will find our customer. In fact, the funny thing, they will find customer, this shocking thing that I found, they will find certain type of customer that if they are talking in capital letter, all of the 10 customers they brought that time will talk in capital letter. Hello, in capital letter. Hello. And they are real people.
People that will send you 50K.
They will bring them.
3 of them at the same time.
Now, I want to ask you this simple question. Is there an e-commerce cover? And how can we be part of them?
Yes, it's an e-commerce cover.
Tell us. Is there an e-commerce cover? And how can we be part of it?
Is there an e-commerce cover? Yes.
The audience want to know.
There's an e-commerce cover.
Okay.
A very great way for you to be part of it. is to use KitKat.
I've been thinking about that.
Right from e-commerce boss.
Right from e-commerce boss.
Join where it is happening, where your ad, your product, your service will be reaching the right kind of people, and then you'll be selling like crazy. There's an e-commerce cover. You need to, DM, message, click the link below, find the phone number, check, go to usekitkat.com, editor, please put it on screen. Usekitkat.com, become part of the e-commerce cover. There's an e-commerce. But back to the, that's a short ad. I like it. No, that's what now. Technologically, they are monitoring us. And our music, they are pushing it to our throats in whatever. To what extent is that reflecting the reality of rich versus poor that we have today? To what extent we say that is influencing where we are as a society in terms of fairness, equity, and justice, and resource devolution, the resource allocation? How much do you think that it's the case? Does that really mean? Does that not speak to the fact that maybe there's some force that doesn't want you to leave your that way? Some force doesn't just want you to leave your current network and move to the upper echelon. Would that not be the case? If they are pushing this art, pushing this thing, do you think they are not doing anything that is keeping people poor? Or it's only when it comes to this kind of stuff you say, hey, 100% responsibility, you are responsible for your life. At the same time, you are accepting that there's so much influence that is going on. What's your opinion, Dan Smith? I know you are thinking deeply about it. Or Beatrice has something to say real quick.
But the only thing I want to say is just that I feel like to an extent they have a large control, because when COVID was being spread, and if you see in states where the way different states handled it, you will notice that it is about like a body of people deciding how it should be handled in those states. Now, in some states, people were locked in; they can't go out. People were locked out in some states. People were doing business. People were different kind of. And in the US,
it's night.
And you realize that in your states, they say that at night you can't go out. In the morning, in the day, you can go out. I just like the fact that it didn't really affect us in Nigeria that much. Probably we did not even experience it in Nigeria. Although I know someone personally that we lost to COVID. Okay. So maybe
I think we lost the former governor of your state.
Yeah, we lost Reverend John Onguze. He came from US for his family's burial or something like that, and then he came with COVID and he died in hospital in what's the name? We lost him also to COVID. Wow.
Yeah, they are so rest in peace. But back to the subject.
So the way COVID was handled and the way it was, should I say spread, we can understand that some things were corrected. Some things were affected, like economics were done or were altered, the economic structure. So even if you say that I'm 100% in control of my life and everything, things held you back. So the
reason I'm saying this is that if you look at, there's oil cabal. And the other day we were at police custody, we were hearing about people at this MP, Nigeria Port Authority, and how they are manipulating, goods, diversion. That's what they call the business. And there's, the train, the electricity cabal, there's also all sort of cabal, even in essential facilities, in essential this thing.
I think Josh went against the cabal in school, but I will let him speak to that effect.
Okay.
When he was contesting for a position, I will let him discuss it.
So now, if that is the case, does that not make people incapable of elevating their, In fact, I will even argue they are a family cabal. There's this family matrix.
True.
Where parents and fathers and mothers and whatever are actively not helping their child to they are sabotaging their child. They are not helping their child to get out of poverty. But this camera, do you think it's not the case?
You see, in financial market, there are people longing the market and there are people shorting
the market.
The fact that people are bloodily shorting. Josh Soros made $1 billion
in a day.
By doing what? Shorting the
markets.
And so everybody has an
he actually shorted the currency of a country and brought them into their needs or something.
Country.
I don't even know.
Singapore.
Thailand. And then even the president or prime minister was really saying that George Soros was, because although politicians will blame anybody, but then it was that crazy. He made $1 billion in one night by shorting the market. So everybody has an agenda. Really, I realize that. So definitely I believe some people, there are some people's agenda is to actually short the market, short your life, to do all of that. There's that possibility. Denying that possibility is not a very good strategy. I actually do believe that. You see, Tracy was talking just now about me going against certain kaba.
Okay.
In school.
I would like to know that.
Okay, so I said I wanted to contest for welfare.
Okay.
You understand? So, okay, did I even plan that I want to be a little popular in school? I think I was sort of coming from secondary school, still having this vibe and all of that, and then I stood up to answer some questions at classes that we use we use the stadium. So a lot of people from different faculty actually knew me from there. So it was easy. It's not like I was trying to make friends one by one. Many people just got to know me.
Exactly.
So I just said, good. Then I can contest. That was what I thought. And then I said, so I was going to contest. Right? And I was contesting. And these people saw me. And then
called you.
Alpha, I'm going to very. Then I went to meet them. And then they were telling me that, okay, they said, no, I want to contest for this position, but, there's an opening in SRC. That I should go to SRC. I should leave this one for a call. That was our own candidate. Me, my response, I said, my mother is not getting food. I thought it was about using nice word that I've read from Today Bakari. That we really
even today, Bakari have not won the presidential elections. Nomination service did not get.
That time I said, my mother did not get the food, so they should forget about whatever they are going to do. So, and I was like,
make sure they follow you talk.
I was like, this guy, he was there when we were picking. He said he was not interested. He was going for a side. I didn't understand that Kappa is telling you something. You are saying nothing. So for you to stand against Kappa, you yourself, don't drop something. It's not an ordinary soul that doesn't understand the ways of the Kappa. That we try to stand up to the Kappa. You must understand the ways and means of Kappa for you to actually.
Or you must have a Kappa behind you too.
You yourself must have
a worthy Kappa.
$44 billion versus whatever
the people can do.
That's what we call Kappa. That's what we call matrix. Not all these
a fortified kaba, a kaba that has been washed in what do they call herbs? Kaba that has been soaked in herbs, washed in herbs. Kaba that is like boo.
I believe the ordinary man sometimes overrates himself. Me and there was a time this guy was doing Teddy G. Every corner of the street. You must surely hear Teddy G's bell. So what happened? Teddy G had a fight with one DJ.
Okay.
And he beat up the DJ. Then the association of DJs
DJ Kaba. the DJ Kaba.
DJ Kaba.
They said no.
Will not be playing.
DJ we ever played
the song.
Game and the rest was history.
Wait, they get association already because we know here DJ Lagos.
I'm sure it's a national association.
They decided to fuck him up.
I think that's what they call blackballing.
Yes.
They just decide that this person we are no longer.
It's also the same thing we call the platforming and all of that.
They never give Nicki Minaj.
They did the same thing for this guy. This our 24 Grammy winner now. What's it called? Kanye West. Yeah. They took him from billionaire to $400 million guy now.
Real quick.
And we are saying that there's no cover. They play my fans.
See, that happened, right? But you used to say something that they've cancelled him before cancel court.
Okay.
So even when he's trying to stage comeback, like he come back there, okay, he's now back to number one. Fuck you. That was it. But I think Adidas is trying to call him back.
Okay.
And so you call unnecessary problems to yourself, trying to really stand against Bukaba when you never talk. So maybe Kanye will be back as a billionaire again very soon. I'm talking as a top fan, but please give me a few seconds to finish what I was saying. About that,
okay, let's hear your story.
So the last part was when I heard that one, I was not giving them the response, and my mom did not give her the food. They felt like I was actually giving some rhyming words and all of that. I felt the fact that they felt this guy is a little intelligent and all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know, and that's all too easy. And then they left me. And so when they left me, you understand? That time is not even the time that maybe I met you. It's not that I have big relationship with them or any other influential people like that. But you know the Yeye Kaba that I had to resort to was them
Polska.
Religious wing Kaba.
Oh,
Polska, you know. So they were doing snowballing. They said they call it snowballing campaign. So we're going house to house to go and meet people. So that they vote us and all of that. They were doing that. It was after the election. I scored 195. The guy scored 300
votes.
Early 300 votes. And he won me. Like. So I realized that.
You don't need to tell us.
I realized that I get 195 votes. That's not to it.
And so?
I didn't the majority. That. So what those guys are not telling me was not that it's not that I won't get vote. It's that you will not win. And winning again is exactly what we are talking for.
Yeah, that's interesting.
If you don't have, if you don't chop something, don't go and start and get any.
I think one of my biggest disappointments was that when I heard how the civil rights game was played.
Okay.
I always thought these guys were helpless people. Like Martin Luther King and co. I always thought they were helpless people and stuff.
No.
But I was growing up and reading books about how these stuffs went down. That I realized that no, they were deploying money. There are some people that were funding them. There were some white people that really backed them and said this thing must be the case.
They were
just part of Southern Baptist Convention.
Southern Baptist Convention. So these kind of people, not just these black people who don't get anything. Then apart from that, they were deploying some strategic movement that we knew that underdog strategic movements.
The funny part that the people that were supposed to grant them know that they are even capable of violence. They have the resources of violence. They have the weapons of violence. They could exert violence. They can shut down the system.
So I was surprised when I realized these people to have backing. The same thing with female movement, the feminist movement, when women could not vote and stuff. So I was wondering, so some women just decided that no, we are going to team up. Some lonely women, and then they got the lie. There were people that were interested in getting them into what do we call it? Into the workforce to pay lower labor. Of course, these things end up coming out several years after, but that's usually the case. So I realized that no, it's not like some random people just come together, the way movies paint it, and then they just win. No, they always have to have one kind of serious backing that is heavily motivated against the main cabal. That's how it works.
You
don't tell me that the trans rights movement is not being backed by powerful people to the point that BlackRock is not giving funding to any business that is against them.
That's
BlackRock.
So, because you don't know, BlackRock is one of the largest private assets management company in the world, you know, and those guys are controlling stuff. They own about 7% of Apple, own shares of Microsoft, own shares of Google. They are one of the most powerful. They are running on over $9 trillion worth of assets or something like that. So you should read them out. So basically, I think one of the things we'll be able to capture in this episode is the fact that, you know, if you want to go into philosophical debate on whether we are living in a simulation, you might confuse yourself quite a lot. But if you want to bring it back home, that is that even within human interaction, any form of matrix going on? I think there are matrices, not even one. And there are evidence of them everywhere in all the activities we have seen over the years that has played out in the pan of reality. People fighting for feminism, people fighting for black rights, people fighting for gay rights, people fighting for all of these things. Since we have found with substantial evidence that there are a lot of backing. See what, when Elon Musk announced that he wanted to buy Twitter, we don't know what was going on but what we know as financial analysts, as you know, young entrepreneurs that we are doing all this pro Elon Musk and the people that are doing anti Elon Musk, the anti Elon Musk camp were like, oh, it's a foolish decision for you to take $44 billion to buy Twitter and then shrink the value. They didn't know that we are doing all of that to win 2024 election. So now you see, there's always a plan. It's you that you do not know it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Rational Dialogue. This is episode 11. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, there are other episodes on the channel. You can watch it here. You can watch segments of this episode on this part. My name is Elon Jobs. I'm born as Olajide Timleni. And everyone here, they would like to introduce themselves. But more importantly, I would like you to join the Kit Kat Kaba. e-commerce cabal, the people that are making the most money online. The link is below. Thank you. Josh, sign up.
Josh Tracy?
Dance me want to say time now.
That's it.
Beatrice, what do you want to say?
Bill Tracy.
So what cabal are you part of?
I'm part of the KitKat cabal. In fact, I'm a software engineer at KitKat.
John, what do you have to say? Do you want to tell people to join KitKat cabal?
John Wills, and I'm a member of the KitKat cabal.
So please come and join our cabal where we are making things up. We are producing media like this. We can put you on the map. We can put you on Google, put you on Facebook, put you on Instagram. If you're having any problem running ad, doing anything, we can solve all of those problems and put you in the cabal, in the carbonated environment of people that are making money online. I'll see you in the next episode.